My name is Kenneth Bird. My company is Crystal Edge Technology Screens. I'm going to do a very, very interesting demonstration here. It's going to be fast and quick. We're going to paint a 100-inch, and I have to measure my screen over here because I never measured it to see exactly how big it is. On the 4.3, we're going to do 2 projection screen paint-ons faster than PARTAY's instructional video. So you come in at, on this screen, let's see, I do it on an angle. This screen comes in at 91. 91? Yep, 91. So this right here is a 91-inch, 4.3, 91-inch, 4.3 over here. And then over here, we have a 100-inch, 106-inch Elite screen. So we're going to paint both of these screens in faster than his instructions. As I said before, that his instructions are just a little too crazy, and that the time it takes to paint one of his screens, I can literally knock out 2 of them with no problem. So now just getting the measurements on my, I should have bought my stand up here when it bends a little better. That's what I should have bought up here. That way I can get both screens at the same time. Where would I put it at too, to be able to get both at the same time? Probably up here on that rack. I could get it from there. Let me go back and get my stand from downstairs. I think this is going to work out much better. We're going to be able to get the overhead view of everything. Let's see. Should get it from here. I was thinking about this morning when I got up. I was like, you know what? I'm going to do 2 screens at the same time, and I'm going to do these faster than his instructional video. Get it from here to here. Let me see. Now, I said before that some of the instructions I've seen down through time on screen paint mixes have been absolutely insane. There's no way in the world, in this decade of time with the technology we have now, that you'd ever have to paint a screen 4 times. It's just too much work at the end of the day. So keep in mind, I have a 91-inch, I just mentioned that a few minutes ago, a 91-inch 4.3 for my gaming over here. And then over here on the floor, we got an Elite screen at 106 inches. If I had to paint both of these 4 times, it would take me forever. The screen I have over here is 135. So literally, if I was doing, I could do all these screens in no time at all, because my application is fast and quick. It allows the customer to paint the screen on no time at all, no headaches, no complicated instructions, just paint and you're done. So that's one of the things that can be a downfall on your product. That if it's too complicated for the customer, they may get discouraged and not want to do it all together. It's supposed to be fast and quick. When people use my screens for contract jobs, for adding a home theater setup, they're not going to wait 7 days to apply this, and they want something to be fast and quick. So the time hits video, I'll be able to knock these 2 screens out, have them painted, have them dried, have videos displayed on them, be done. I don't have to sit down and go downstairs and have a bowl of cereal when I'm done. All right, so the screens we have in here are much bigger than in his demonstration. As I said before, I measured this one out. It's a 91-inch 4.3, 106-inch on the floor. We're not painting the big screen, that's done. All right, so we got the paint pan right here. One's gonna be done on the wall with the roller. One's gonna be done with the stick right here. Everything's prepped, everything's ready to go. So we're gonna play this video. And by the time, let's see, play the video, and then from there, we should have all this done way before he finishes his instructions. So let's get everything set up. Now I did this with on ABS forms against Mississippi Man, who took forever to paint a screen in. One end, put the timer down, painted the screen in no time at all, dried it, watched the movie off of it. That's how we got banned from ABS forms. A whole bit of a ego issue going on over there. That's how that one started. Same thing we're gonna do here. All right, so let's get this started. Let's get this knocked out, get it done, because I have things to do today. Let's see, we'll start this introduction video, and we'll start from here. You can hear the video being played as I'm doing get this done.
Hi folks, Danny here at PARTAY. So tonight I have Miss Kelly with me. She's going to be painting a screen for us.
Painting this one first on the wall.
Things I want to talk about first, specifically about the surface, and then we'll talk about the actual mix. This surface, it's hard to tell because it's got a sheen to it.
Now, this is the new gamer paint that we have for Phantom, right here. We're going to do both of these screens right here. And we'll time it all. We're done, that's it. That's all we got to do.
I coated it with a white gloss. That's just the only white I have in the house. So I use what I have. But it's got a lot of texture. I just put enough, you can make it out there. There's little places in it, right? So I just put enough on here to give you an example because I'm going to use this as a little bit of a worst case scenario. So you'll also notice that there's texture on here because of the roller that I used, and this is really thick, you know, gloppy paint. You're used to hearing the whenever people are rolling, right? So the formula is not going to be like that. You will see how it works. But I just wanted to tell you that if we have a surface that has a good bit of texture on it, and you'll be able to pick up that texture whenever we do our display. And the reason for that is because this formula acts as a skin. It's very thin. You're going to do very thin layers. You're going to do 4 thin layers, and it's all going to be okay. I promise you. You're going to see your first roll is going to be the ugliest paint job you've ever done probably in your life. So don't worry about it. That's good. That's fine. You'll see as we go through this that this is not about being a master. This formula has been designed to make it very easy for you to do. Where you pretty much have to try to screw it up. Maybe just do some finger painting in there. I can't guarantee against that, but this should be fairly easy. All right. So first things you want to remember is when you open up the product, you want to stir it very well. Okay. And what you want to do is you want to make sure you stir the bottom. Almost I do mine in a checkered pattern. I kind of go one direction from side to side, and then the other way side to side. And I'll do that a few times, and then make sure that you get around your edges. So that you don't have stuff that's just stuck to the edges. Now, this over time, probably by the time you would receive it, it's going to look like it does when we mix it. But over time, you will have some separation there that could occur, and that's going to be because we use a combination of distilled water with something we designed here. The polymers in it are heavier. It's going to fall to the bottom over time.
Well, man,
so your water will kind of rise to the top and separate. That water here, and the one here. You can use a rolling pan. The thing is I wouldn't use more in a rolling pan than what you...
Try to speed it up so you can keep up.
And I'll explain that as we go, okay? So the easiest thing to do is Kelly right now, I've instructed her, she's going to run about a 2-inch wide strip from the center of the first one to the center of the third one. Just keep on the cut here. Nice, nice, nice. Okay. Now, you can actually take your brush and brush that up the side if that happens. Where you have a little roll in the container. There you go. Nice. Now you just want to go ahead and get to rolling. And what you want to do, the goal here is to cover the surface. You're not trying to get a pretty roll, like you're rolling a wall in your house or something. You just want to, first of all, what you want to do is try to get your roller saturated with the material. Rolling it back and forth, you want to saturate your roller with the material.
Like this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. No, I have not done this. So,
But now you want to start rolling it, like rolling that out, because what you see is you've got little pieces. There you go. You're just trying to get coverage, a good even coverage. It's not going to look even as far as color, but you want the whole surface to be wet. It's as easy as that. Just basically, but try not to roll it off. I usually roll side to side.
clearly I'm not a painter.
You're doing absolutely perfect. Once again, you're not trying to get a pretty roll at all. What you're trying to do is
Done.
get the material on this.
That's finished.
Alright, see, now you can start applying just a little bit of pressure, going either side to side or up and down. Just apply a little bit more pressure. Look, be easy with you want to roll your roll. There you go.
Not just,
Yeah, not just slide it.
gotcha.
All right. Now you see how that's starting to coat across the screen now?
I do.
All right. And that's really all you want to do is just make sure you get a good even coat. All right, now go back to this side and just lightly hold your roller. Just let the weight of the roller roll it. You just roll up. Go take your roller and put it about halfway on the line you just made. And just do that again. Let the weight of the roller, do that over and over across your surface. Now, the reason we're doing this is because I want to show you, it's very easy, it's just a technique, right? But also, this will help you optimize, that's it, you're done. This will help you optimize the surface. So the surface is going to have less texture, it's going to be very fine, and give you a really nice image. So that's it, it was just coat the surface, do your light roll, all the way across, and then now we're going to let it set for maybe 2 to 3 minutes, just because this starts to try to level set itself. We're going to let it set for about 2 to 3 minutes, and then we're going to put it on the on our fan. Excuse me, we're going to put it on the fan, and we'll be back in just a few. Okay. All right, so we're back. Now, one thing that I did forget to mention in the first coat was when you finish, rinse out your roller. Now, what I do is usually that's the reason I use so little material. That way there's not really a lot to rinse out of your roller. So you don't waste a lot of material, but you start with a fresh roller for this coat. So this time we're going to do the exact same thing we did last time. And while Kelly's rolling it, I'll talk a little about the product itself and what it's designed and engineered to do for you. We are old, that's one thing. So just get used to it.
Done.
Very nice. And she's just going to repeat the same thing that happened last time. Just try to loop this around, get your roller getting wet, just kind of going back and forth across. As if you just go across your panel there, you'll saturate the roller. And then you're just going to try to make sure that you move the material on the full screen.
There we go.
So while Kelly's rolling here and getting that done, so I'm just going to cut you loose on your own. All right, well, so while Kelly's doing her thing, I'm going to do a little narration here. So what you want to avoid is overworking this. That's the reason I'm being so thorough in the explanation. Because the tendency for people is to try to roll this as a paint, where you're trying to get color coverage that looks the same from one roll to the next roll. You don't need to worry about that with this. This is going to happen naturally as you do your layers, okay? What you're trying to do is, one, get coverage on the surface, 2, when I say coverage, just get the surface wet with the material. Go back, step 2, you're going to add a little bit of pressure like she's doing now, just rolling one direction. It really shouldn't even be going back and forth. Just one direction is easy enough. You just add slight pressure, and what you'll see is that it'll start to colorize the surface. And then you're going to go back and do the same thing, but with no pressure, just letting the roller do its thing, which is going to give you a very refined, low texture surface. It's that simple. This material has been designed to make it easy for you, and so that whoever creates the screen, as long as you follow the instructions, it's going to come out the same regardless if Tom in Oklahoma does it or, you know, Josie in the UK does it. It doesn't matter, right? It should come out the same, and that's the reason that we designed it to do this. The material itself it's not fully self-leveling, at least not at that, you know, thickness. It's not going to be fully self-leveling, but you do want to let it set for 2 or 3 minutes. And I'll talk about that in a minute, but you're going to want to let it set for 2 or 3 minutes so it can self-level. And then you throw the fan on it, let it dry, do its thing, and as soon as it's dry. Now, dry is dry, okay? It shouldn't be tacky, so you want to make sure that it's not tacky. As a matter of fact, when you feel the surface, especially if you've had it on a fan, it's probably going to be a cool surface, but you just feel, and as long as it feels nice and smooth, not tacky at all, you're ready to go for the next coat. So, I just want to make sure folks understand, do not overwork the product. It doesn't need to be. Once again, not the paint. Not meant to coat like a paint or behave like a paint. All right, guys, getting back. So I want to take a moment while Kelly's doing her thing.
Done.
To give you an idea of the surface. So
Takes too long, I told you. It takes too long for them to paint the screen. I'm done.
Okay,
That's done, that's done. I'm finished. I'm gonna go pack my stuff
There's a
up. I'm
line
done.
here, there's a line here, but we're not through yet, right? So don't worry about that. You can see little specks in there where you can still see through to the substrate. So don't worry about that. What you'll notice is that we're starting to get a uniform coat. Now, this here, this is a crease.
It took me, I still got paint left over.
in the panel.
It took me that much paint to knock out
Consistencies in the panel.
the 91
Once again, worst case
and the
scenario,
106.
you know,
That's much. I told you, you get a lot out of these things.
It's got creases,
Still got paint in there.
little divots in it, things like that. But
I gave these screens twice. I'm
This
done.
is going to start to shape up. You know,
That's my Sony projector,
So,
$300. That's my in-focus projector, $50
just a
bucks.
second and get started back. All right. So you want to stir it up again. Cleaned our roller. Very little material came out of it this time, so.
I want it, hit it again
Did
if
a
I want.
good job. I'm not using
That's
too
my
much.
fun, hit it again.
Ready?
Yep.
I paint the screen twice.
There you go. Leave what's left in there. Roll that out. Remember, remove your material first. Start all the material that's in the center.
Yep.
You want to make sure you start moving it out. So you have a little, yeah, so if you have a little piece of your roller or anything like that that comes off, you see a speck of something, just take it off with your finger and go back over it. It'll cover it really easy.
Where's the, don't lose remote controls in there, man.
Alright, so now you want to do your light roll,
Okay.
because you would put pressure over some of that. So you just want to make sure that you always do this last, very light, no pressure on the roller, just let the weight of the roller do it. All you're doing is just moving the roller. So there's coat 3. It may end up being our last coat. I know I said 4. We'll take a look at the end of this and see if we need a 4th coat. Sometimes I'll go ahead and do a 4th coat anyway. It's good to have 4 coats because this is an optical layering system. Okay, so you're building something here. Specifically, it's made for it to have essentially 4 coats. So we'll probably come back and do our little 4th coat on it, but for the most part, we're going to just let this set for a second, come back. We'll put it in front of the fan there, let it dry, and then we'll be back. All right, guys, we're back, and so we're going for the 4th and final coat. that set for just a second, and then we're gonna put that in front of the fan, and we should be good to.
So keep in mind, I was able to paint that screen twice. Took time to walk around the screen. I had to speed the video up so you could catch up, so I can make it an even, so for more funner, so it give it more of a challenge. So I sped the video up to make it a little bit faster, so I skipped past his introduction and just went in. I did that twice, took the tape off, I'm done, that's it, I'm finished. He hasn't even, he just finished up on the screen, I'll show you on the video, and we're done. I didn't even have to use the fan. I had to brought the fan upstairs, I never even used the fan. I have to turn it on. We're good. Fully lit environment. There's his video right there at the bottom. You can see the time he put in right there. I painted this twice. Came back in. I had to speed the video up so you could catch up because I knew we were going to be done in time, way before his time. I'm finished. My stuff is already displayed and it's drying as you're watching it. Let's hit that video right there too. That's why I said at the end of the day, I've told you, I'm an expert in this field, man. I've been doing this for a long time. That takes too long to paint a screen in. The customer is going to get extremely frustrated, especially if they don't get outstanding results right from the door. It's going to frustrate the daylights out of them. They're going to think everything they're going to do is going to be a big mistake at the end of the day. They have to get good results right from the door. This builds their confidence up. It's got to be fast, it's got to be quick, and it's got to be easy. That's what people want at the end of the day. They don't be going through all that nonsense. And by the way, guess what? $50 projector. That's my in focus. $50 projector I got off eBay. That's my Sony. That's 720p, 1080p. Fully lit environment. There you go. So in his next video, his video took so long that in his next video, he's going to display the screen. We're done. We're already done. Dry. It's going to dry on its own. We don't need the fan up here. I thought we were going to need it, but don't need it. We're good. Now that's the new gamer paint we got coming out by Phantom. That's what we just used in here a few minutes ago. Easy, McCheesy. Now, size of this screen, I just measured it out, found what it is. This screen is actually 91 inches, 4.3 for my gaming over here. This is 106 elite. All right.
Test it out in the room. So we'll be back on display.
That's what I told you. At the end of the day, it took too long to paint the screen. Let me see. Didn't need a fan. That's that. Let me get my lid, my cap. Let me see, where is he? Where's my heart sugar? My pocket that's over here. Oh, ooh, that looks really amazing. We gotta do that real quick. And let's get something for this over here. What's wrong with this? Outer Space 4K. Let me finish in here while you guys are watching that. Told you that gamer paint, man. So usually downstairs, we're in a max out zone. We display this downstairs, we're in max out zones. This is how the screens display in normal lighting. Downstairs in the basement is not normal lighting. It's way beyond normal lighting. Average person is not going to have a max out zone in his environment. This is how the screens display in normal lighting, everyday lighting. Even in the max out zone, they look insane. In normal lighting, they're actually incredible. And we don't even have the lights out yet. So when you're watching a screen being displayed in a max out zone, it is a very stressed screen, but it still has to be able to maintain the contrast and color. When you put them in normal lighting, this is how they react. So this is normal for the technology because it's used to be under much, much more stress. That's why when we develop technology, we develop them all in very stressful environments. because we know the everyday person is not going to use it like that. So when you put this in normal environment, boom, this is what you're getting. This is what you're going to pick up. This is off a $300 projector. That's 50 bucks over there. A $50 projector over there. Let me see which one we got over here. Let me see. I don't want to use it for a display screen. I actually want to use it for some gaming. And we're still wet right up in here. In here, we're still wet. So I'm going to let the screens dry on their own. I'm not even going to bother throwing a fan on them. Let me see. Oh, we're wrong section. Sorry about that, people. Got the wrong remote control for that one. When I come over, this one right here. $4K demonstrations. But I'm going to put my gaming system back in this one because that's what it was designed for. Where is my... Oh, we don't need this one here anymore. Adapter. Drain cast. For the cord of the drain cast. This is definitely for the output of the drain cast. Let me see. Put you back in here. This is my gaming. Okay, we're gonna go in that way, dude. I'll put you in that way. Okay, dope. Okay, we get the fire stick for downstairs. Let's go back to the office for downstairs. Make sure we get those mixed up. I think I might keep the screen here for a bit now. Let's go to the other room because we need it for the display screen, the icons display for the Mac. Don Kennedy. Yeah. I'm just tidying up in here, getting things ready, transfer back downstairs. And that's it. All right, hope you enjoyed the video demonstration and thank you for your time. I'm going to put my stuff back in order back in here. I'm pretty sure you don't want to waste your time watching me do all of that. And there's the final product done. This is the new technology we're going to be launching pretty soon. This is what's going to come with a 115-inch surface and free LED lights. Well, with that being said, hope you enjoyed the video demonstration. Gotta go and God bless.